Hello, Rhode Islanders. Hi. My name is Corey Aegon, and I run Rhode Island Normal. The reason I'm here mostly today is to stop the police injustice against the drug war. Well, using the drug war against us. I'm angry. I'm angry with the brothers and sisters up there right now. The police department, who get to act like they did in Ferguson with impunity. They get to do whatever they want, not because they're officers of the law, but because some of them, not all of them, definitely not all of them, think that they are the law.
That's right.
Let me tell you guys a story. I was in Woonsocket at my cousin's house, and we were smoking weed. Okay. It was a little bit late. An officer drove by, knocked on the windows. He says, "Smells like marijuana." I disagree with him. Couldn't smell it. He tells me to get out of the vehicle so he can search me. And I say, "Why?" "What do you mean why?" "I smell marijuana." Okay, that's not probable cause for a search, because probable cause only relates to a crime. And in Rhode Island, marijuana is decriminalized. He gets quiet for a second. He says, "What? Are you telling me how to do my job?" "No, officer. I'm just telling you the law." He didn't like that very much. He pulled me out of the car, searched my vehicle, searched everybody I was with, and found some marijuana. Wrote me up with a ticket. Now, that's not the end of the world. But let's put that in perspective of Ferguson, Missouri. What Dorian Johnson says, the eyewitness that was with Mike Brown the day he was fatally shot, was that they were walking in the street and Officer Wilson came and told them to get the fuck out of the street. That's what the eyewitness says, his friend. Might be a little bit biased with what he says. So, the rest of the story, Officer Wilson grabs Mike Brown through the window of the car. And at that point, there's an altercation on both sides. They agree that Mike Brown hits the officer because he's being assaulted by a cop when, hypothetically, he didn't do anything wrong. Now, that's one aspect of that injustice, where the police just get to go around and do what they think because they have a badge on. And then there's another aspect about this injustice, and it's race. Not just in the South, in Missouri, where the arrest rate in Ferguson for blacks is 2.8 times as high as whites proportionally. That's not just because there are more blacks in Ferguson, that's the proportional arrest rate. Almost 3 times as many black arrests as white arrests.
That's not right.
No, it is not. That is absolutely correct. And something that strikes me odd is Rhode Island in the north, where slavery was decriminalized or unallowed in first, Rhode Island, we have, in certain parts, a 9 times disproportionately arrest rate to blacks compared to whites. 9 times as many blacks arrested as whites. In such a blue state. What is that? It's a travesty. There's no reason for that. So there's a race issue and there's a drunk on power issue. Take those 2 things and maybe Mike Brown, he didn't just run up to a cop car and punch the cop in the face a couple times, get shot, run away, and then try to charge the officer, as he already was shot, pointing a gun at him. That I find hard to believe.
Me too.
And then there's a third problem with that, and it was the flawed adjudication, the grand jury process against Officer Wilson. Now, any legal professional will tell you that if a prosecutor wants an indictment of a grand jury, he will get it. And that's absolutely true. Federal statistics produced by the FBI say that out of 16,000 grand juries federally, not state level, 11 returned without indictments. 11 out of 16,000. What is that? 0.1%? 0.01%?
Yeah.
So the prosecutor obviously did not want an indictment against Darren Wilson. Do you know why? Because the prosecutor's father, God bless his soul, was gunned down in the line of duty. That's a tragedy, but you cannot go living your life like that just because there was one bad apple. And he's the prosecutor, McCulloch. He is a DA, and his job relies on police sending him people so he can prosecute them. That's just a testimony to, how to say this, the brotherhood between the police and the building they're guarding so dearly right now, even though none of us are really going to storm the building. So you take those three things: race, a sense of fraternity to protect one another. Oh, to the sense of fraternity also, when Officer Wilson fatally shot Mike Brown, there was no DNA evidence. He was allowed to wash his hands. The photographer did not take crime scene photos because his batteries were dead, and there was no statement.
That's fucking crazy.
There is no reason for there to be no statement, no photos, no DNA evidence. Once it happened, they knew they were not going to get their brother in trouble. They did not want him to go to jail. It was an open and closed case from the beginning.
And now he's a millionaire!
Now he's a millionaire.
This is news to me, and that's terrible news.
He's a fucking millionaire!
But I just wanted to come out and speak today to share my experience with the abuses of power that the police can do, even though mine may be small. Marijuana ticket isn't the end of the world, but there are abuses of power that can change people's entire lives. Now the Brown family doesn't get to sleep at night because they know their son's killer got to walk free. So that's why I'm a proponent of body cameras on police officers, because no matter who the guilty party is, they're going to be the one caught on the camera. It will protect them and it will protect us. Thank you very much.